Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I want to talk about a mistake I made and it's going to cost me hours. I'm going to tell you what I did, what went wrong, and how you can avoid it, because end of the day, Stormworks does not give us a lot of built-in kind of safety parameters. Yes, there is a backup here when you are building your creation. When you're loading them, you could jump into backup and you can pull up a backup. However, it only goes back about an hour or something. It kind of saves every increment or every time you load the creation, so it's not foolproof. And you can easily end up in a situation, as I did with this vessel, where I spent a good amount of time working on it, and now it's toast. It does not work, it cannot work without a significant change. As many of you may recognize, this is a version of the atoll, even the name is still there. I'm obviously going to change it, but the idea is to put a large gantry crane on the rear and have pretty much a large-scale fishing vessel. I wanted to make a video about fishing and how you can possibly end up with better catches and improved nets and that sort of thing. So I was like, alright, I'm going to take the atoll platform. It's a good platform, it's a little creation, and expand it. Make a larger cabin in here, make larger work area, research area, and obviously change the format of the deck. There is supposed to be a gantry crane here on the rear as such, and you're going to have controls and whatnot. So that's what I wanted to do. The reason I wanted to do this, first of all, is because I want to have a bit bigger of a fishing vessel, but also because, as I mentioned in my Discord server, I am going to be away for the next couple months. And away just means I'll be very busy with other stuff, with work, with my wedding planning, with all kinds of things. So I don't have as much time to make videos, to make creations. So when I had like a couple hours last night, I was super stoked. I thought, alright, I'm going to throw together some kind of creation to, please the fans, to get, people talking, to get something new. And what better way than to revamp an existing creation, especially when a creation took so long to make. I figure the best thing we can do is take, an existing platform, again, especially one that is only currently in one configuration, and revise it and revamp it such that it can be used in a different kind of configuration or alternative. Now, I know some people say, oh, why are you just releasing the same creation over and over again? But as you may know, a lot of my ships, especially ones that take such a long time to make, come out in multiple configurations. The Atomica, the Adria, the Avala, all three are sister ships, the Ashford and the Alston, Akimbo and the container ship. You got Altraz, Airdrie, Algary. I do like to revise creations to make them configured for different tasks. So in the case of the Alaska, which just has a single underwater scooter, the Anvik has a mini sub. The Ekyak has a rib. So they have different tasks, different configurations, and that's why this one was intended to be a creation that was going to have a much better sort of fishing arrangement. Now the mistake. Alright, I told you in a video previously, the fastest way to build a creation is to have sort of a ship microcontroller platform like this. And you can see here it is my interior configuration that I've developed. Here is the roof kind of assembly for all the antennas and things, the radar array. We got the engine room here, the pumps. So a lot of different sort of configurations that I have, and with all that, all this logic and microcontrollers. Now this is approximately 80% of the microcontrollers that are standard across the board. And then I develop specialized ones or recycle old ones for gantry cranes, for, whether it's a fishing vessel, whether it's a ROV sub or ROV slash sub launch boat. So this is the basic of microcontrollers. And then obviously I have other test platforms for, like I said, the ROVs. In this case, I have this thing that I bring in these microcontrollers and place. So the fastest way that I found to build is you start off with a empty sort of hull of some sort, and you then start to fill it in, populate it with your microcontrollers from that massive microcontroller type of build. So that is what I did for building the actual atoll. It was a brand new build, so quite simple enough. You drag in and place all of these microcontrollers. However, you have to be careful, because when you are moving around microcontrollers, you can place them in place, and like this, it will retain all of the logic. However, if you're doing it late at night, if you're doing it because you're tired, and whatever the case may be, as I was doing with this vessel here, I found that I wanted to place the hoppers here, and to do that, I wanted to remove all of the path, the microcontrollers beneath it here, so I can have the engine revolutions, like the actual RPS, go to the propellers. So I wanted to clean up this area, and what I did is I selected the microcontrollers that were previously in that area like this, and I dragged them over into this location. However, I pressed paste twice, and while the logic stays within the microcontrollers themselves, as you see here, it loses all of the external microcontrollers. It no longer communicates with anything but the ones that were dragged over with it. So if you see in this case, this one's a bit better of an example. You could drag this over here, and you could see all the external logic, but if you paste twice accidentally here, you'll end up with a situation where things are connected, but not externally. I didn't catch that. I was so hyped to build this vessel. I moved over my microcontrollers, pasted them into the vessel as I did just now, and continued working. And it wasn't until I went to start up the vessel, I found that it wouldn't start. At that point, it had been over an hour of me building the interior here, building this kind of space, wanting to expand the deck, moving the stairs around. The funnel here had a large amount of rework, because previously the funnel was near the back of the ship, so I had to actually move it around. And I went, and it would not start. And most likely, in this configuration, it'll never start, because now I have the added problem of not only do I not have the ability to kind of drag in brand new microcontrollers from my ship template, but I also have unknown ones that are not connected properly to anything. You could see here, they're connected within each other, but we're missing things like the sensors, we're missing things like throttle, we're missing things here like the radio, the ignition, all kinds of stuff, but it's not missing everything. It's still connected to certain things because I had certain things together and then I moved it. So it's really a mismatch or mishmash or whatever of things that are connected and things that are not connected. You can see here, even my fins are not connected. If we go up to the cockpit here, or the helm, the bridge, if we go to the ignition, you can see the ignition literally is only connected to the backlight and not to any microcontroller that's actually going to start the ship up. So, that said, because of this nightmare of logic and not wanting to go one by one and make sure it's like, see here, key input is not connected. Now, yes, I could go and connect this key, but the key is also attached to like 10 other things down here. It's not going to work. So in this case, 3 hours building this platform up, building this hull, arranging it is going to be wasted. It's gone. I'm not even going to bother to do this because the logic is probably the most difficult part that requires the most brain power to actually properly connect. Whereas just starting fresh, starting from scratch, taking the atoll, expanding it, deleting the stop stuff is probably going to be faster. In fact, it almost certainly will be, because I'm not going to have to kind of run a check of, oh, did I connect this? Did I not connect it? Is this dial connected? Is it not? No. It's just going to be working, and it'll be quite as simple as putting it together. Now, how you can avoid this, that's the big question. First of all, always save your creation. I've gotten into the habit where I don't. I only save like V3 here because that's the third released version of the creation. But previously what I would do, and I deleted all the examples, but as I was building, I would constantly save, and I would constantly have like a working version, V1, V2, V3, V4, and it would, like here we have V16, V14, because every change I made, I would save it. So the first thing you can do to minimize this type of damage is save your creation constantly. The second thing is after a large move of microcontrollers, verify that everything is still connected. As you can see in the atoll, when I go up to the ignition, look at that. It's connected up there to those two things, but also to these three. So I lost all three of these elements down there. And again, yes, I can go and add the ignition, but I don't know what's missed. I have so much logic in here, so many dials, so many controls, things depending on one another, that it just will not work. So what you want to do after you build something like this, after you make a major move of microcontrollers or anything like that, you'll want to test out that it works, that all the systems work, that it's happy, that it's going and chugging along, and then you can continue, because it would save me a lot of headache. This video is unplanned. I did not plan on making this, but I'm truly a little upset and frustrated because I was quite excited to play around with the fishing parts of this vessel, but now I can't. Now I have to literally go back, spend 2 hours again. It's probably not going to look quite the same as this. It'll be fine. I'll make it work, obviously, but it is just an unfortunate bit of wasted effort to get literally to a point where now I have to start again. So I think that may help some people that are struggling with that type of thing or trying to learn the game better. Yes, I could have made this video much shorter, but I wanted to fully explain the situation and what I did. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, more content, and as always, happy Stormworksing, everyone.